13 Ghosts is a movie that I always find disappointing when I watch it, okay? I was first introduced to this on a kill count, dead meat, and I found that interesting. So I watched it, I did the review. And by the way, it was Tubi Horror Weekend 2, it was that far back that I did the last one. I don't know if this was around there. No, I don't remember. But I thought I did this Ghost Ship and that all together. But I find this disappointing. More disappointing every time I see it, because of what it could have done, what they could have done with the story, what they could have potential it had, and how it was sort of look. If my thoughts aren't lining up, it's because it's 12:30 a.m. Okay, and I'm trying to squeeze this out before I go to bed. So let me just sit down. "13 Ghosts" in theory could have been good. It had the idea behind it. In fact, for all 12 ghosts, or at least for all 13 ghosts, or at least the first 12, they had large integral backstories for every single one of them. I'm not going to go through them all, and it's not because I gotta, it's a lot to go through and have to write stuff down. I wrote down the names of each of the ghosts, so talk about that. But they all had individual backstories that are on the DVD in the special feature, like a documentary style thing, but they excluded them from the movie. And I think that's most disappointing, is a lot of the ghosts, there's a few of the ghosts that just have quick blink and you miss it moments. I think the Pilgrimess, I think, is the one that's on there the least. And you just got other ones that show up here and there. The ones that focus on the most are the Hammer, the Jackal, the Juggernaut, the Withered Lover for reasons, and the Angry Princess for other reasons. Two big reasons. Yeah. But I'll tell you right now, the 12 ghosts are the Firstborn Son, which is linked to baseball, I think. The Torso. The Firstborn Son is not the baseball one, or whatever. Firstborn Son, the Torso, the Bound Woman, the Withered Lover, the Torn Prince, that's the baseball one. The Angry Princess, Pilgrimess, the Great Child, Dire Mother, the Hammer, the Jackal, and the Juggernaut. And yes, get out of the way. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch! Get that out of the way. But the story revolves around a man named Cyrus Criticos, who's collecting these ghosts. And after his death, his nephew, played by Tony Shalhoub, and his family inherit the house, and they're going to live there. It's a big glass house that moves and is so integral. I don't know. But upon going there, they realize something else is going on, and there are ghosts in there, as they are warned by Dennis, who's played by Matthew Lillard, who is a psychic. And they have to survive, basically, and stop these ghosts. Yeah. Now, again, I have told you 12 ghosts, not 13. And honestly, the 13th ghost is so stupid. I don't even understand why they would count it as a ghost, because it's never actually a ghost. Again, there was potential for this. They could have done something with this script. I don't know. But, yeah. So we start with Cyrus Criticos and Dennis, and they're at this junkyard trying to get the Juggernaut, the final one that they need, when they're stopped by Galena and her boy toy husband, who tell them that going after these 13 ghosts is not good. It's a bad thing to do, and they shouldn't do it. And Dennis freaks out because, it's 13 ghosts. You said 12, not 13. Again, Dennis is a psychic, but you'll find that his powers are only work if it suits the plot. There are several times that you think when something happens and you think, shouldn't Dennis have known it already? He's a psychic, right? You think he can know things, but he doesn't. They use the plot convenience thing of he has to touch you to read your mind, which is not how psychic powers work. I've seen a lot of movies with psychic powers. They just happen. You don't always need to touch someone. And the only reason that they use that archetype for, oh, you have to touch someone for psychic powers to work, is so that it can fit the plot. Otherwise, you'd be asking, well, how come he didn't see that? How come he didn't see that? You know, Supernatural did a similar thing, I think. Not really. They used a plot point of headaches, and it was only every once in a while that would happen, so that it wasn't always, oh, why didn't you see this coming? Why didn't you see that? Because they weren't fully developed yet, his powers, so they went in a completely other direction with those. But anyway, so they're going after the Juggernaut. Kalina and her boy toy come in. Boy toy dies, and then Cyrus supposedly dies. And then we cut to the opening credits of this, which is interspliced with our backstory, sort of our family, the other Critical's family. Tony Shalhoub and his two kids. One of them is Shannon Elizabeth. And then they have a nanny named Maggie, played by Rod Digga. They lost their mom quite some time ago, like a year or so ago, in a fire, a Christmas tree set on fire or something. Problem is, this is only shown through like photographs, and not even of that. It's like photographs and you hear what happened, but you don't see it. And now they're living in a small little apartment. This is their house burned down, of course. And they have no money. But the question has always been, if they have no money and have to live in this small little dinky apartment, which is not that small. Like, he trips over this like fire truck or something that the kid left down, and it's like, you look at where it is, it's like, no, that he yells at his son, I'm like, no, that's your fault for not paying attention where it is. You could walk around that. There is a way, if you're paying attention to what's on your floor, you could walk around that thing. You weren't paying attention and you stepped on it. That is partly your fault there, pal. But if they're so broke on money, they need money, how do they have a nanny? And Shannon Elizabeth is in her 20s here, playing a teenager, but my sister was a teenager and babysat, watched my brother, watched the neighbor's kids. No, she's not responsible enough. But they get an email message, from Cyrus. A lawyer shows up. It's Martouf from Stargate SG-1. He has an email message from Cyrus. Basically tells him, hey, I'm going to give you money in my house. And, you have to come to there. And so they go there. And Dennis is already there pretending to be a electrician guy to check the power. Which, this time I noticed, I think the lawyer knows who he is, but he's humoring him because he's there to get his own money, so he doesn't care. He's going to get in and get out of the whole thing. So they get in there. So this house, this is one of the most impractical houses you could ever have. It's like, Hey Arnold, that room. It's like, that would be a cool room. But realistically, when the sun come up, your ass be fried. There's no roof on that thing. The sun comes up, it's going to hit that glass, and you be frying. Yes. Yes, it's not practical. I guess you can move things. Is there shutters, I guess? But shutters of metal? I don't know. I don't know. But they're talking, and The lawyer goes down, or no, Dennis goes looking. I think Dennis finds the ghosts first. And he's looking around, and, or maybe not. But he starts looking around, and then the lawyer says, oh, there's a few things to sign, you know, all that stuff. And he goes downstairs. And this is where it starts to hit the fan. He goes down, and he moves this briefcase that's full of money, and it's, it trips a tripwire or trap thing that starts to release the ghosts from their containment. Now you may ask, well, how can ghosts, they walk through walls, right? I have gas. Well, glass, not gas, glass. Well, apparently, there's special writing on this glass. There's like a spell that keeps the ghosts in, so they can't go past the glass, which comes in handy later. Also, when William Castle's original, the people watching the movie wore these special glasses, tinted glasses, to see that you could see the ghosts. So here, people have to wear special glasses so they can see the ghosts. It's kind of calling back to that. The problem is the editing. Instead of just going, oh, I can see the ghosts, they have to flash in front of you. They flash. Which, again, much like with House on Haunted Hill, if you are epileptic, do not watch this. There's no way. It's too much flashy stuff. It's too much flashy stuff. I think the first 3 films had the same editor, because it's very similar. I know this and Ghost Ship had the same director, Jeff Beck, but I would stay away if you have the seizures. But and it goes. The first one to come up is I said earlier, the Angry Princess. And she's in the bathtub because that's how she died. She slit her wrists. But she's kind of going after Shannon Elizabeth here, which would be ironic that 2 of the horror movie roles she's in, she died in a bathtub. The first of which being Jack Frost, where she was snowballed to death. We'll say that. Yeah. And I will admit that it wasn't until I think it was Mr. Gigi's video where he pointed out in that scene, you know what he's doing, right? You know what he's doing? I'm like, what? It's not what you think it is. He's like, I'm sitting there going, no, it's not what you think it is. And he goes, but where's the nose? And I went, oh. Although, if you think about it, it was floating in the water. So, I can defend this and say it's just at the bottom of the tub. But again, yeah. Anyway, moving on to this movie. The boy, Danny, I think his name is. Everyone, even though Tony Shalhoub says don't go anywhere, of course they all spread out. Maggie too. So the boy goes down to the basement. He's obsessed with ghosts, so he's looking around, and he hears conflicting voices. He goes, "Someone, don't do it." So okay, come down. Which, okay. So one of them is his mother's ghost. Here's a twist alert. It said, the withered lover is the mom that died. But they don't really do anything with that. Other than Tony Shalhoub getting pissed at Dennis for not telling him and then punching him in the face. Yeah. So Dennis, after realizing the ghosts are down there, run up to tell them, you gotta get out of here, whatever. And I think that's when the lawyer sneaks out, goes down. And he gets cut in half by these doors, because the doors will start moving. He gets cut in half. But not this way, the long way. But not even this way. This way. Which is a unique way to do it. Whenever there's like someone's cut in half, it's either down the middle, like Final Destination 2, or down this way. there's a Hellraiser movie or something. I remember there's one that, but this is this way. So it's like a sub sandwich. A sub sandwich will, you know. When I said hot dog by way of hamburger, where it's a hot dog bun. So it's like a Subway sandwich bread, that kind of thing. Yeah. And this is the best death, best kill in the movie, but it is almost tainted because you realize that, oh, that was in there so that Rodriguez could make the line later. What, did the lawyer split? Yeah. So, realizing the boy is gone, Tony Shalhoub talks Dennis to going down. By the way, during this conversation where he's like, there's ghosts. Ghosts. I used to hunt ghosts with your uncle. And that he just came there for his money that he was owed. He's like, goats? No, ghosts. Ghosts. I don't know why he had to mess it up, but they go down, and so Dennis goes with Maggie, Rodrigo, and then Tony Shalhoub goes with his daughter. And they're going around. And, keep in mind that these doors are moving around and ghosts are being freed. It's down here that Dennis sees a vision of his death by way of the Juggernaut. And Kathy, that's the daughter, I remember her name, Kathy, she gets taken. And it's a weird edit because she's there, and they do a close-up when he's talking to Galena, because Galena comes to help them, and she has the glasses, because she's there to help. And there's a close-up of him talking to Galena, and when they go back to a wide shot, Kathy's just gone. Why? Well, you see, my theory is that they didn't have jack shit for the kids to do up until the point they needed. It's like, well, we don't really need them because they're needed for this contraption, which we'll talk about in a minute. But it's like, oh, we could take them out early because they're not really needed for the rest of the movie. So we find out that this contraption, is all about the 13th ghost. Okay? They run through the ghosts, and she says that 13th ghost, well, it's you. And he's like, what? I'm not dead. No, it's so fucking stupid. So, the thing is here that the kids are going to be in the machine. In order for him to save them, he must jump through the machine and become the 13th ghost. Something like that. But apparently that's also a lie, and it activates the machine to do something. I don't know what it does. Afterward, this is like the third or fourth time I've watched this movie. I watched the kill count plenty of times. I watched Mr. Gigi's video on it. By the way, if you want an in-depth behind the scenes on the ghost, watch Mr. Gigi's video. Don't watch it. Watch it. Watch Mr. Gigi's video. He goes into complete detail about it in the first half of that. It's very good. Or you can watch the documentary, but I feel like Mr. Gigi's will be less boring. And probably quicker. Just saying. But, yeah, so we also see Cyrus is there at one point, but we think he's a ghost. Yeah, you're supposed to believe he's the 13th ghost, but that would make too much fucking sense. And we can't have any making sense in this movie, so no, it's Arthur. I remember his name. It's Arthur is gonna do it. I don't know. And it's revealed that Cyrus and Galena are in on it. For now, because then once Galena's not needed in the movie anymore, she's killed off by one of the doors. I don't know. They don't. Characters. Maggie disappears for a while. I don't know what happens to her. She sort of disappears until she's needed again. Cyrus activates this special hymn on a record that summons all the ghosts to where the machine is. Or their place on the machine. It's going to help activate it. The kids are in the middle of this big CGI contraption, and Arthur gets told by the ghost of Dennis, because like I say, he gets killed by the Juggernaut, that he has to jump through the machine to save his kids, and it will destroy the machine. Because at this point, Maggie has come on and started doing the beep, beep, biggity, 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 beep. You know, remixing it. Scratching, that's what it's called. Scratching the record, causing the whole hymn to go haywire, and the machine gets all, she starts just smashing shit. Right? And so, in order to save his kids, Arthur has to jump through it. So he does, and then the whole thing just blows up, but they survive, and all the ghosts walk free, and Cyrus dies. All the ghosts kill him. So, if you want to be technical, Dennis is the 13th ghost, because he's the only other ghost that's in the movie. So technically there is 13 if you count Dennis. But, yeah, that's really it. And then you get one joke from Rod Digger. They're like, I ain't cleaning this shit up no more. I ain't doing this. No, fuck that. And then we go to music that is fine when it's just the instrumental. And then when you hear Rod Digger start to rap, you want to shoot yourself in the head. Because I was like, oh, okay, you got to be, all right. And then she started rapping. I went, no, I turned it off. So let's kind of try to dissect this, okay? What even is this plan that Cyrus had, okay? I'll tell you what. Let me look it up on the Wikipedia, okay? I can look it up on here on this TV. I got an internet browser on here. I can look it up quick. You can get the blue light on my glasses. Because I really need to know. I need to know. I can read this. I don't need the sound. Okay, so blank page. Wikipedia. It's .org. .org. Okay. 13 ghost. No, put the R, right? I think. Hold on. Yeah. Huh? Okay, there's a thing in the way I couldn't see. Go back. Let me spell it out. $13 goes. What the heck? 13. Hold on. For some reason they put a period on there. And here. No, not. Hold on. 13 ghosts. Okay, here we go. Alright. So the plot here. Armor special glasses. So. Okay, so the first part she says allows the user to see past. So Arthur learns that the Jean's ghost is also in the house. That's the mom. Kalina, it's Kalina, not Galina, explains that the house is a machine powered by the captive ghost that allows its user to see the past, present, and future. The only way to shut it down. She says the only way to shut it down is the creation of a 13th ghost from a sacrifice of love. So Arthur realizes that he must be the 13th ghost and save his children. So where's the... So here, it will not stop the machine, as Kalina said, but trigger its activation, and then Cyrus kills Kalina. So it allows them to see the past, present, and future, which is also kind of stupid, because to think about everything that Cyrus had to do, he had to round up 12 ghosts, and then sacrifice his own nephew, because one of them had to be the guy's wife. But also, the put the kids in there. It's I don't know. But like, so why isn't jumping through it when it's really going at it not kill him or the kids when it explodes? It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I don't know. You know what? They could have done the 13th ghost. Okay, 13 ghosts. Cyrus is the 13th ghost. And he had to die to hand it to Juggernaut to become the 13th ghost. The house is still a machine. Kalina is there to be working with him to make sure that this goes through. And the whole ordeal is that he has to sacrifice a blood relative so he can come back to life, but as an immortal. That's what the machine does. So that's the whole thing. That, I think, makes more sense than whatever the hell he was trying to do with the past. See the past, present, and future? I don't know. I don't know. It's confusing. But I feel like my idea is a little bit better. Cyrus is the 13th ghost. He's actually dead. But he has to use this machine. He has to use these 13 ghosts, including himself. And then he has to have a blood relative of the 13th ghost to free the 13th ghost from death and bring it back as an immortal. Can never die again. But of course, they get, you know, I think it makes a little more sense to me, anyway, than whatever his plan is, because this just makes Cyrus seem like an old kook. I mean, wanting immortality is also kind of kooky, but this is just like, I don't know. And to call it 13 ghosts when there's only 12, I mean, Dennis obviously ends up being the 13th ghost, but still, you know. So, you know, people who do the reviews, you need to think about that too. People are like, oh, the 13th ghost is Arthur. Actually, no, the 13th ghost is Dennis, because he's technically the 13th ghost in the movie. Technically. But I'm going to give it a middle of the road. I don't remember what I gave it last time. Like I said, I'm not going back and watching those. Especially House of Wax. I don't know how pristine that is, but I don't hate watching this, but I get more and more confused. At least now I know what the machine's supposed to do, because I for some reason I always miss it. I just don't. I always wonder, what is the machine supposed to do? Now that I know, it's still confusing, but at least I know what it does now, right? So, what are your parts? Come on now. What are your thoughts on 13 Ghosts? Let me comment below, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.